A winter had passed since the Western forces defeated the Soviet-backed Circle Army at the Battle of the Platte River. The battered enemy had withdrawn back across the radioactive no-man's land called the Badlands and into the only city they controlled on the western side of the Mississippi. This was Football City, formerly known as St. Louis. Now the Western forces, an alliance of democratic armies and militias joined together to rid the American continent of the Circle Army, were preparing to take the offensive. Jones walked to the front of the planning room and unveiled a huge map. At its center was Football City. Blue flags to the north, west, and south indicated the positions of Western forces deployed around the Circle stronghold. "I'm happy to report that we've solidified our positions to the north," Jones said. "We're now anchored here at Spanish Lake, thanks to the arrival 3 days ago of the Free Canadian Volunteers. Now, to the south, the 4th Texas Armored Brigade has dug in here at Tesson Ferry, and of course our major deployment, the Pacific Americans and the Football City Army, hold the strong line between them in the west. So you can see, we've got them sewn in on 3 sides, with our line roughly paralleling the old Route 270. "So when do we attack?" one of the newly arrived Republic of Texas Army officers asked. "Not any time soon," Jones answered. "But why not?" the Texan followed up. "We've got them outnumbered at least 2-to-1 in manpower, and a lot of their guys are just hired hands, mercenaries or whatever. We've got more airlift than they have. Also, we have 4 squadrons of fighters to their 1.5. Jones shook his head. The Texans' unit had just arrived, and the man wasn't totally up to date on the situation within Football City. "All of this is true," Jones replied, "and I'm glad to see that nothing has diminished the fighting spirit of Texas. But any military training course will tell you that an offensive force attacking set defensive positions needs at least a 4-to-1 advantage for a successful outcome. We don't have those kinds of numbers, and I can't risk the heavy loss of life that would result if we jumped off any time soon." Jones looked around the room. All of the Western forces' top representatives were there. Louis St. Louis, the man who transformed the moribund post-war city of St. Louis into the fabulously hedonistic Football City, only to see it nearly destroyed in 2 successive wars. Mike Fitzgerald, the former Air Force pilot who transformed the municipal airport at Syracuse, New York, into the wild and woolly aircraft repair shop known as the Aerodrome. His territory, too, was still under Circle control. Also on hand was Marine Captain Bull Dozer, the commanding officer of the famous 7th Cavalry, a near-legendary group of freelance Democratic fighters. Seated next to him was Major Frost, the Free Canadian Air Force pilot who was the unofficial go-between for the large, neutral Free Nation to the north.